my son, Aslan, is 5 years old, and he used to be scared of spiders. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. This really bothered me because as a kid, I really liked spiders. I was fascinated by them, and I even had a pet spider and came up with new ways to catch flies in order to feed it. So I tried to change Aslan's mind by introducing him to a character called Lucas the Spider. I think Lucas is really cute, and Aslan agreed and fell in love with Lucas and watched the animated clips over and over again. I coaxed him into believing that most spiders were just like Lucas. So now, whenever we come across a spider, even though Aslan still keeps his distance, I'm really happy that he's no longer freaking out and running in the opposite direction. This is the power of animation. I have for a long time believed animation to be one of the most powerful tools against ignorance, bigotry, fear, in fact, pretty much everything that's wrong with our world today. Animation can even help children better understand the stuff that they're supposed to learn in schools. Like the time when my eldest son came to me with his physics homework. His textbook was really nice, well written, but didn't explain things clearly enough. So I went online and found this video about physics of sound. And I'm really happy to report that not only my son, but I too have mastered my understanding of sound, thanks to a very well animated video. I'm sure you guys already know the problems we have with education in Pakistan. Rote learning versus critical thinking, emphasis on passing exams and getting degrees as opposed to gaining knowledge. But the biggest problem is, in my opinion, learning isn't as much fun as it should be. The fix, if there is one, would probably require a lot of time and effort. So in the meantime, I decided as a CG artist to test the power of animation for myself and set out to make my first animated feature film. Uzair and Legend of Markhor was meant to create empathy in children towards animals. It was a very simple plan that if a child fell in love with Mehruta Markhor, chances were that they would not grow up to be someone who would look at hunting as a sport. And the main theme of the film, though, was conservation. There were like many more important lessons. Like Uzair cried when he was upset. Mehru fought back fearlessly to defend her friends. These roles defy the typical mindset prevalent in our culture that boys should not cry and girls are weaker, therefore require male protectors. But since I didn't want my film's only defining features to be its great social messaging, and I realized that if I didn't make a really nice film, people wouldn't be attracted to it. So I decided to push the production quality as much as possible. But quality, as you know, costs a lot of money, and animation is, in most cases, way more expensive than live action. And to top it off, cinema at a nascent stage does not pay that much, especially not for animated films. So in order to bring the costs down and the quality up, we at Third World Studios decided to reinvent the way we were going to make this film. We took the most powerful game-making software called Unreal Engine and repurposed it to make our film. And the results were better than we could have hoped for. We became the first ones in the world to successfully make an animated feature film using a game software. And this innovation gave us a lot of advantages. We could effortlessly work on very large sets. We could light our scenes in real time. And hardware rendering helped us, saved us from investing in very expensive render farms. And so, film got released in 2018 and performed wonderfully. We got great feedback from children and parents alike. We even won some international awards, and it was like an overall success story.
सुनो, देखो, अगर अगर तुम घर जाना चाहते हो तो तुम अपने अब्बू को लेके आ जाना ना बाद में. मेरे पास.
So, thank you. Even though this was like an amazing experience making this film, unfortunately, the film did not fully achieve one of its primary objectives. I'd made this film in Urdu because I wanted the children of Pakistan to easily understand it and get influenced by it. But majority of the children didn't get to see it because cinema in Pakistan has a limited reach due to its mainly urban setting and high ticket prices, etc. So I started thinking of ways of targeting people who live in the rural areas, since they make up the bulk of the population and would definitely benefit from this type of content. TV channels came to mind as an option, and we have a lot of those nowadays, but only the terrestrial ones like PTV reach most of the rural areas. Smartphones have excellent penetration throughout Pakistan as well. So I thought maybe one or both of these options could be used to deliver education camouflaged as entertainment. But I realized that this would be a very expensive undertaking and maybe not financially feasible or sustainable, because neither of the two options would pay enough to justify the high cost of animation. So I started focusing on ways of further lowering the cost of animation and came up with a few ideas. So the most expensive component of animation is motion. An animator is the person who deals with that. The animator makes the character walk, talk, act. It's not a technical job, it's an artistic one and requires a lot of time and effort. The thing that surprises a lot of people is that an experienced animator produces an average of 3 to 4 seconds of decent animation in a day. This is like a huge bottleneck for us. The solution that we thought of for removing this bottleneck was motion capture, which has existed for a long time now, but has only recently become a cost-effective as well as a user-friendly option. So imagine an actor's voice, lip movement, facial expressions, body language, all controlling a character in real time. Now imagine while you're recording the voice as well as the performance of the actor, you're also viewing the finished product. So while working on ways of enhancing the quality of our upcoming new film, we at Third World Studios have incorporated such a approach into our pipeline, which lets us pre-visualize our captured motion in its final stage.
I can look around, I can talk, Rigu, my eyebrows controls are back to where they were, you know. I think you changed the sensitivity of my, you see this? We can edit this out.
Thank you. So I think the future of animation in Pakistan is quite exciting. I believe through embracing such amazing advancements in technology, we can create relevant, affordable content, which is entertaining, promotes our culture, shares important values with our children, and can even be used to teach entire curriculums. I look forward to the day when a minute-long animation takes only that long to finish, fully enabling us to use animation as a real instrument of change for a brighter future. This is my imagined future. Thank you.